probably a friend of yours as well. I don't know if you've been coached by him or not. Dirk Koetter called it fucking quits last night. Dirk Koetter called it quits and wrote a 1,000-page essay about it. He wrote a goddamn whole thing about it. I won't read it all, but I'm just going to tell you for the audio listeners, Bronco Nation, as I step away today, after 42 years in the coaching profession at every level, I have a few things I want to get off my chest. And then he goes on to thank and support Boise and their coach for hiring him again. He's been at Boise many years. I've known Dirk forever from San Francisco State days with Andy Reid, by the way. A lot of you in here will not even understand what he's done. Anyway, he basically said, Shaun, since the playoff, during the bye week that they earned, apparently, that their players were getting fucking plucked left and right. During the goddamn playoff, their players are getting plucked by teams with bigger and better resources. And he's like, man, enough is a fucking enough. I've coached this game too long, helped too many kids, and now I got to watch my guys getting plucked during a fucking playoff game that we're in during the bye week, where now players' heads are spinning because they got $1 million thrown at them by goddamn Tennessee, Oregon, Florida. And now how do I coach these kids to be focused to go play a Penn State in our first round game? This is a mockery. And I don't blame him at all for getting out of this thing. So I'd love to hear your take on this, man, because it's a travesty. Because you defend the small fish. You defend the small fish in the big pond. And Boise, if we're going to say earned the playoff spot, I don't agree they earned the bye week, but I agree as the non-Power 4, they should be the team. They were the best in the non-Power 4. So they get in the tournament, then this is a joke, man, to do this to them.
So I think, and listen, I would never have brought this into play without speed bumps, without like parameters, without like, things that were gonna, curtail this. But at this point, the easiest fix is this: create some semblance of a salary cap and do it by position. The quarterback position at any given school cannot be over $1 million. The offensive line position at any given school cannot be over X amount of dollars. The receiver position. That way, if a school's going to pay a kid $1 million to be quarterback, guess what? They can't bring nobody else in. If they're going to pay an offensive lineman $700,000, well, guess what? That position only got $1.5 million budget. And so now it makes it at least more competitive where a smaller school could say, okay, this is the exact number we have to retain the majority of our players. And now you even the playing field a little bit, as opposed to letting, one big booster, and the big dogs are losing kids too. Hell, the guy that owns Oracle, his wife's a Michigan grad. She gets involved with the Bryce Underwood bidding, and all of a sudden, hell, LSU can't afford Bryce Underwood.
I want to address something like this guy in the chat, Caleb McLean. All these coaches whining and bitching. Figure it out or find another job. When do you stop? When do you stop figuring it out and finding more jobs? When do you run out of quality fucking football coaches, Caleb McLean, that want to do it the right way? When do you allow your kids to get coached by street agents and fucking nobodies because that's all that's left? See, y'all don't think outside the box. You're all narrow-minded thinking about the bag you see in front of you. This dude's coached for 42 fucking years. Where is the appreciation and the respect for the game that this guy's put in? See, Caleb McLean's of the world just automatically dismiss all this shit that we've gone through as football players, coaches, and grinded and helped these kids. And now you're bitching and moaning, talking about, just go find another job. When you say that enough, there will be you're going to be like, oh, shit. Be careful what you wish for, homie, because your ass ain't going to have nobody coaching this game worth of shit. And you're seeing it right now in the NFL plus college football. You're seeing the yes men and the do boys that are adhering to kids making more money than them. This college football has become the NFL. When Shaun played and the quarterback coach makes $500K for the Bucks, and Shaun, let's say, makes $2 million. What? Shaun not taking no 3-step job like that, motherfucker. You don't even make nothing like me, and you didn't even make it to the league like me. This is what's happening in college now. You got guys looking at guys, and we want to respect the McKellen girl lady at Oregon? Come on, man. Like, you guys are just so narrow-minded and micro-thinkers on this thing because you probably don't know anything about it. You never played or coached, and it's all right. Just stay in your lane, though.
I get Dirk's frustration because of all the time he's put in with a large portion of those guys. That every school had a chance to recruit those kids out of high school, but they didn't do their good job evaluating, or that wasn't an area they recruited. In Boise State, UNLV, UCL, it's a whole bunch of schools that developed that kid, and now all of a sudden the kid walks in your office and tells you he loves it there, but coach, y'all are paying me $10. JB University is offering me $100. The coach can't even look at the kid and say, "Don't take the money." You know, that's the most frustrating part.
And you know what the problem is? Like the Kevin McClains of the world and all this that don't understand hierarchy. There's a reason why the country's falling apart right now. There's a reason why kids are running the room at 17 to 21 that have yet to earn anything, that don't even know how to change their fucking oil in their car, and have yet to put anybody through college, paid a light bill, or paid a mortgage. But we want to put them on the same fucking level playing field as a 50-year-old that's 42 years in the business. Now, that's the fucking problem I have with the Caleb McClains and all these idiots in the world. You're putting a 17-year-old who's yet to earn anything, who don't know shit about shit, and you're putting them on the same level. This is when you have no hierarchy, and this is why we collapse as a society. And that's why you're seeing the collapse of football at the college level. Because if there is no pecking order and hierarchy, then grown men coaches that have done this for 42 years can no longer coach the kid and demand greatness from him, because the kid will crumble because he has no tough skin and immediately exit left. And you are saying that they belong on the same field as a 55-year-old coach. Get the fuck out of here, man. This shit is beyond me. But
Shout out to Dirk Koetter, by the way.
Yeah, great coach.
Great dude.
He's an asshole on the field, gets after dudes. He gets after his staff. Listen, he did it the right way. Let me go further. There's a kid I want to mention that is in the portal. San Diego kid. Bailey, I don't know if we got the kid I sent you. This kid, Keenan Christian, I want to give you a little insight on him. San Diego kid, offered by SC out of high school, Shaun, signs there, leaves, enters the portal, goes to San Diego State. This is his latest offer from the portal.
Is that a real program? What? No offense to Finley. I'm not familiar with them. Is that a real football team?
Yeah, I think they're D2. Finley University is his offer. I want everybody to really clear and hear me. This is what 99% of the portal becomes. You either never hear from them, they become nobodies because they thought the green grass was greener on the other side. This is what the portal has done to guys. It's a D2 in Ohio, I believe, Shaun. Pretty decent D2. But you went from SC, big-time recruit out of high school in San Diego, California, big-time city. Then you go to San Diego State, back home. Okay, I can see that move, right? Now this is your offer. I'm just telling you, to Dirk Koetter's last post, to get out of the game, to this right here is all tied in to it's together. I'm just telling you. This is what is going on in college football, man. These kids, 99% of them don't make it. There's 7,000 in the portal, people. There's 134 D1s playing football. Do the math. It's never going to work. And now you've just opened Pandora's box with JUCO prep being untimed for 2 years. Can't wait to see it unfold, Shaun. I'm just telling you.
Hey, JB, it's one of the reasons I'm so adamant that high school kids shouldn't be eligible for NIL. Like that's the first change I would make. A high school kid is not generated any revenue for the college he's going to ultimately sign with. All he's doing is making money for the on-threes and the rivals and the recruiting services that monetize high school recruitment. Like, that's where they got to start. Because it'll ruin a kid like Keenan. Kid like that, highly recruited out of San Diego, get paid before he ever play it down at SC.
I agree. I agree, man. I'm just saying, man. And Shaun, this is the problem. Dirk Koetter left, and then another guy who Caleb McClain will just dismiss, Jim Mora, who's only coaching the NFL, has a fucking legend following.
Yeah.
He goes to UConn and does great things, but so is he just bitching too, playing victim, Caleb? Is he just playing victim, Caleb McClain? Is this guy not saying his guys are being probed also during the goddamn? They beat North Carolina, homie, by the way.
And looked like they had better players.
And so all of a sudden, his team now at UConn is getting probed during the goddamn playoff tournament. And now all of a sudden, we see a guy like Dirk Koetter leave. We've seen Nick Saban exit left. Mike Krzyzewski in basketball. We've seen a coach become the head coach at Boston College. Said, "Fuck this, I'm out. I'm gonna go be a DC in the NFL." And Coach Hafley, and then got Green Bay doing pretty damn good. This is the problem. Chip Kelly left a Power 5 head job to go be a coordinator. Just make it make sense. That doesn't happen ever. So this is why. Are they all victims, Caleb? See,
hey,
that's the problem.
It really sucks for Jim Moore because him playing in the bowl game exposes him to losing his best players. Because now, and UConn don't play a national schedule generally. They're not on national TV. So the majority of big-time programs don't even see UConn play. With a standalone bowl game where everybody's watching, it's an O-line coach at 20 of the top 60 schools is like, oh, damn, that right tackle could play with us. He hit his GA, man. Find out who that is, man.
It's beyond that, Shaun. It's not a GA no more. These big schools have hired 10 guys now.
Yeah, they got a department.
They got a portal department that they log into the portal right as the season ends, and they're literally going to the coaches, the coordinators and head coach and saying, hey, 600 O-linemen are in the portal today. Let's get it on. They get the film up of 10 guys, and they're watching film. They bring the coordinator in to watch this kid's kick step, watch this guy in Nevada, UConn, these smaller schools under the radar that they could steal a dude from.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest to Caleb McClain, I don't advocate for victim mentality. I'm not going to tell my players to just quit and give up, and it is what it is. I'm going to fight to the end. But my whole point to your take is, Caleb, at one point you will run out of quality for quantity, and you will not have the blood life that runs this particular space, college football. The portal will eventually run dry, and you will need to go back to the organic nature of football, is recruiting high school and JUCO kids. When you kill that and shut it down and clip it and only use the portal as your blood life, you will run out of organic natured players eventually. The portal is not going to last forever. I'm just telling you. It's an impossibility. I'm not a math major, but eventually 99% of them will be going to Lindsay College or whatever that shit was. They're not going to SC and Bama because you cut high school recruiting off and you've eliminated and imploded JUCO. So we're going to, I'm curious.
You did say something earlier, JB, that I agree with 100%. NCAA sports needs to get back to being a 18 to 22-year-old competitive environment. I'm with you. Like, all right, I know COVID hit. It was terrible for a lot of people. But we passed that now. Hey, man, y'all, every Saturday, I feel like I'm watching games with a bunch of 24, 25-year-old kids. Like, I mean, at some point, college sports needs to go back to being 18 to 22.
And Shaun, it becomes, people don't understand the ramifications. They don't understand. You're now taking away possible CFL roster guys.
Right.
USF USFL, USFL, arena football. Go play and live. That's what it used to be, Shaun. Oh, damn, I wasn't quite good enough, but I got a shot with a CFL team. Nobody's going there no more. CFL now is becoming unbelievably bad if you go watch it and see the difference because they're not getting the 4-star guy anymore. They're staying in college 8 or 9 years. The CFL can't afford to hire a 27-year-old guy no more. They can't do it. So
NCAA got to fix that. I don't know if it's an age limit or what, but I mean, it is way too many 24-year-olds playing college football now.
Shaun, I don't want to watch. No offense, I recruited him and shit. I don't want to watch my man at Utah no more.
Right.
I recruited you.
He might be 26 by now. This is ridiculous.
Shaun, I recruited him in 17 when he left Texas.
Yeah,
came back home to California and entered the portal. Yeah. Like, come on, man, that was 7 years ago.
And it's starting to really impact the record books. Because these kids are playing for 6 years instead of 4.
And I mentioned it yesterday. Scadaboo should have been in New York, not Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel should have been out of college already.
Yeah, he's been out a long time.
That's the point I'm making. It's not that Dylan Gabriel didn't belong because they were number one team and his stats. That's not the fact. The fact is he should have been gone already. Like
I was still coaching at USF when Dylan Gabriel was at UCF. And I even
come on, man. That's my point. We're missing young guys. We're losing the fact that the kids don't have a drive anymore. Why wouldn't the next Scadaboo in the world coming out of high school have a drive and investment in his body and becoming the greatest thing when he's going to go to college and have a 25-year-old ahead of him who's been at 4 schools? And now they're going to be invited to a Heisman candidacy and not Scadaboo, who, if you go watch Scadaboo's high school film in Sacramento, California, go watch his high school film. He should have been offered by a lot of schools, but he's a white running back. He's not flashy. He got overlooked because of a portal kid. There was 1,000 portal running backs sitting around in a portal. So I'm just saying, man.